Hello everyone and welcome to another video where today I was walking in the woods and something caught my eye. Specifically something that I had seen before, but given the conditions in the past week and today, it was really pronounced and I had to show it with you guys. And that is the fact that a lot of the tree saplings, especially ash and aspen, have green bark now. Now, I'm not talking about moss on trees, or trees that otherwise normally have green bark like this sassafras. This has green upper bark and twigs even during the summer. Around here, aspen bark usually looks like this, a very light, dusty gray. Now, to preface this, it's been rainy and cool for the past few days, but before that, for about a week, we had around high 60s, low 70s Fahrenheit temperatures throughout the whole week. Which, it's November at about 1,000 feet of elevation, so that's not unheard of, but it is not typical. Now, it varies from sapling to sapling, but there are some examples that are incredibly green, like this quaking aspen right here. I think the week of warmer temperatures made it so the smaller trees sort of realized, if for lack of a better term, that, it's perfect time to photosynthesize right now. The ground's plenty warm enough, but everything's already lost its leaves. So now, we put all the chlorophyll in the bark. And I'm not just stating that it's chlorophyll specifically because that's what green color usually is in nature. I did find a study stating specifically that this is chlorophyll and that this bark is capable of photosynthesis. I'll put that source down in the description below since it is a scientific claim. And as with an exceptionally large portion of science and discovery, the first reaction to this is, huh, neat. But then, once you spend enough time out and about taking notice of certain things, you begin to realize that this bit of information has some usefulness to it. The first thing you can do with this information is make an assessment about how healthy a tree is. For example, I'm currently standing in a small grove of aspen saplings that sustained some pretty significant damage from a young male deer trying to get the velvet off his antlers. And apparently he couldn't just be happy to pick a tree and stick with it because there are about 5 aspen saplings that have similar states of damage. Now, many of these trees aren't dead, but you can roughly assess how well they're coping by how much green they have on their bark. That one appears to be doing significantly better than this one, and this one bit the dust a while ago. What's especially interesting is that if we go over to the other 2 aspen trees, the one on the right looks really worse for wear, but there are several splotchy bits on its bark that are green, and the further up you go, it actually turns completely green. Notice how the bark here is a dark grayish, and up here, it's green. And the second and more unfortunate realization is that if you go around and look at a lot of the invasive species around here, they also have green bark. Burning bush, green stem, European privet, green stem, multiflora rose, green stem. This is likely a significant factor in why these plants are as invasive as they are. Now, not every invasive species does this, so it's probably a good idea to focus on the ones that do during the winter. For example, many of you may recognize these as Asiatic bittersweet berries, and when you've already gone through a thicket of vines trying to cut up all of them, nothing quite says, oops, missed a spot like these. I could try to follow the vine back to the root and finish it off, but that's not worth my time right now. The plant is dormant. It's a much better idea to go after things like this that aren't waiting for the spring. Well, that's plenty information for one day. I hope you guys learned something and enjoyed. See ya.